On this week's KSP News Show, with less than 24 hours until 1.0's final release, we break down the teaser trailers that Squad have been releasing this week. And KSP Media Group YouTube members such as Scott Manley and Ronin Porn released their 1.0 preview episodes. All that and more on this week's feature-length KSP News Show.
Reporting live from the Kerbal Space Center, it's your host, Jinli Kerman.
Good morning, evening and afternoon, my fellow Kerbonauts. My name is Jinli Kerman. Welcome back to the KSP News Show. I never thought I would be saying this, but 1.0, as of recording this video, is less than 24 hours away. Yes, that's right, we are less than 24 hours from the full release of Kerbal Space Program. It's been such a ride over the past 4 years or so, and to celebrate, we are going to be breaking down the teaser trailers that Squad have been releasing over the past couple of days. I thought that this was initially going to be a very nice idea, but unfortunately, just as I was starting to put everything together, I realised that the media group have had their previews of 1.0 actually already given to them, and the videos are now live. I shall link Ronin Porn and Scott Manley's preview in the description down below. I shall bring you more on that a bit later on, but I'm still going to break these guys down anyway because some of the features in them are still pretty cool. So yeah, let's get straight on with that. So yes, let's get straight on with that right now, and let's go over Day 7's trailer. This was released last Monday. I did cover this already, but in case you haven't seen that video already, I'm just going to go over the trailer again now, just to make sure that you are up to date. So let's get on with that. Let's play it for you here. As you can clearly see, it is Valentina Kerman climbing up a set of spiral stairs around her rocket made up of fuel tanks, the small 1.25 meter fuel tanks, using the new Kerbal Clamber feature. This is a new feature of EVA which lets you walk up to a surface, and if it is high enough, your Kerbal will be able to push themselves up on top of that surface, and it just makes getting around a whole lot easier. Also note here that this is Valentina Kerman, the first female Kerbal to have been revealed. Obviously there will be other female Kerbals other than Valentina, but she is the one with the badass seal of approval, just like Jeb. Let's move on to Day 6's trailer now. So yes, Day 6's, this is all about Fairings. Let's play it for you here right now. And so yes, as you can see, these fairings, it shows off how you are actually able to put them on your rocket in the vehicle assembly building. Basically what you do is you attach it to the very base of a fairing, of the fairing part, and then you click wherever you want to put a contour within the fairing, so you can make the fairing contour around your craft. Also, something that to note within the preview videos that Scott Manley and then Ronin Porn and loads of other KSP YouTubers have actually shown is that the fairing actually explodes when you're in the VAB, so that you can actually see the payload inside. It's also a very, very cool effect. It sort of like ghosts out, and I think it's pretty satisfying just to watch personally. You can also see the actual jettisoning function, which I know myself and a lot of you guys in the comments last week were kind of disappointed about, because the fairings don't come off in one solid shell, they come off as tiny individual parts. It is kind of a disappointment, but then again, it is only a tiny aspect of what will be an amazing update. Still a little bit disappointing though. On to Day 5. So yes, Day 5, let's play the trailer for you right now. And as you can see, it is to do with the new aerodynamics system and the new heating effects that have been added into the game with 1.0. Yes, as you can see, re-entry heating and travelling at high speeds, especially in the lower atmosphere, can cause heating now with the correctly modelled aerodynamics, which means that unless you have a proper heat shield, you could be very likely to explode in the atmosphere due to the friction and the super compression of the particles of air in front of you hitting against you, forming a plasma, and as kind of basically what happens in real life. It means that most of your components will melt and explode. A small hidden feature in this trailer, though, which few of you might have seen, few of you may not have seen, is the new camera shake. This is a lot more passive than I thought it was going to be. Instead of actually being present on launch like I thought it would be, so your camera shakes during launch due to all the vibrations, it now only shakes when something has gone wrong. As far as I'm aware, I can't 100% confirm this, but I know it definitely doesn't shake on launch. Although when something does go wrong, like you saw there, the air intake on the front of the cockpit exploded, I know that the camera definitely does shake a little bit there. Adds a little bit of immersion, and it lets you know when something's gone wrong, because sometimes smaller parts fall off and you don't even know in Kerbal Space Program. So this is kind of a nice addition, and like I say, brings an extra level of immersion in. Let's go on to day 4. So yes, here we go. Here is the day 4 trailer for you now. And yes, as you can see, this is showing off the all-new resources system within Kerbal Space Program. This is also known as deep space refueling, because that's basically what it is. You can see here the new drill parts that you can deploy and then activate in order to mine asteroids and planetary bodies and moons within the Kerbal system to actually get fuel and oxidizer from ore, depending on where you land in different amounts of concentration, and you can refuel your tanks, and it means you don't have to bring as many fuel tanks with you when you go on long interplanetary missions. This saves timely refueling missions, sending a fuel tanker, shall we say. It means you can literally just smack a drill on one of your landers, and it means you can refuel and return to Kerbin without any trouble. I quite like this feature. This is probably my favourite feature, one of the ones I've been looking forward to. I do have kind of an idea for a Let's Play of revolving a Kerbal fuel company, but that is still on the drawing board and may never actually get to light. But I really like the feature. One thing about the UI, now I've been worried about this for quite a long time. You may remember a few weeks ago when the screenshots for the UI of this was first revealed. I didn't like it because it had already been changed like several times according to the screenshots. But it turns out that the UI is actually changeable. You can change what sort of pattern that you want. You can have a dotty pattern, you can have a solid pattern, you can have a lined pattern if that is your preference to show up where the ore has come from, and you can also change the colour and the cutoff point of ore, cutoff in concentration of ore that it runs up to. It's very customizable, and I do recommend you go and check out a preview video to actually go and see it in action, because it is pretty damn awesome. Now on to the final trailer for today. Unfortunately, the trailers are only go up to day 3 at the moment, which is this one I'm about to show you in but a moment. Kind of a bummer, but we've still got lots to talk about in this video, as this is a feature-length KSP News show. So let's get straight on with this last one. So yes, let's play this last day 3 trailer for you now, showing off some of the new Mark III spaceplane parts. Here we go. And so yes, as you can see the all-new Mark III interior for the Mark III command pod. In case you weren't aware, every single IVA view within Kerbal Space Program 1.0 is now modelled, meaning any space which contains Kerbals now has an interior view, which if you press C while you're controlling your craft, you'll be able to look inside and look from a first-person perspective. Every single IVA now also has track IR support, so if you're in the minority of people that have an Oculus Rift and a Leap Motion or track IR, any form of track IR technology, you're going to be able to look around, lean forwards, backwards, left and right, and look around the cabin in unprecedented detail. No longer is your head fixed if you have this technology for you. It doesn't just swivel and up, down, left and right. It now has a movable neck, shall we say. Also, take note of the new thicker wings. These guys can carry fuel in them, which I think is a pretty nice addition, because at the moment, these smaller wings for the Mark II spacewing parts, they're kind of thin and spindly. I feel like they would break off in the airstream if they were not attached properly, so to speak. So to have some nice thick wings, as well as the ability to carry fuel in them, it's going to make some interesting weight distribution decisions when designing aircraft, and I think it's going to be overall a nice commodity to have, bearing in mind that putting fuel in space planes has always been a kind of tricky task, shall we say. Another thing to take note from this video is the new air brakes. You can see on the rear of the craft, you can see two little fins that I'm obviously assuming that you can bind to action groups or the brakes. And basically what this means is, with the new aerodynamic system, these guys will pop up, they will increase your drag and thus it decrease your speed in the air. Makes landing just a little bit nicer. One thing to take note as well, if you look very closely in the background, is that I was wrong, guys, in last week's episode, as was the IMGA link that I got the story from. The ground around the KSC, as far as I am aware, is still flat. I can't stress that enough to you. The ground around the KFC is still flat. KFC? I mean KSC. What am I talking about? But yeah, unfortunately, we did get a picture last week in last week's KSP News show from one of the screenshots that did suggest that the ground around the KSC was going to be slightly bumpy, slightly hilly. It may still be, I'm not quite sure, but from all the previews that I've seen, it still looks exactly the same, still nice and flat. So if you can't quite reach the runway, then it's still fine. You'll still be able to land your craft at the KSC and no problem whatsoever. As far as I'm aware, anyway. We'll have to wait for 1.0 to actually release. But yeah, those are the 10 teaser trailers. Obviously, by now you lot have probably already seen 1.0 in a lot more detail than this, and I will link Scott Manley and Ronin Pawn and maybe Enter Elysium's previews in the description down below if you guys want to go check them out. But let me know, guys, are you hyped for 1.0? I definitely am hyped for 1.0. Let's get a hype train going in the comments, guys. Let's celebrate all the new features, because there are some pretty awesome ones, including one that I'm going to talk about in a minute, which hasn't been covered all that much. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below. Are you hyped? I'm guessing you probably are. Let's smash the hype out the window this time. Remember to tweet me on Twitter at @TheLeftyScott. Links in the description down below, as well as in the ticker tape at the bottom of the screen right now. Links in the description, as you say. Follow us, tweet me with #hype. Let's get this hype train blown out of the park. But yeah, onto this slightly obscure story, shall we say. Yes, moving slightly away from some of the new large features from 1.0 that are getting a lot of coverage from the KSP YouTube community as of late, including me and a lot of other KSP YouTubers that are much larger than me. A Easter egg has been hinted at by one of the Kerbal Space Program developers, and apparently it's going to be pretty damn large. Bob, otherwise known as Rover Dude, who works with Porkjet on implementing new parts and modelling them correctly, says in the bottom of his most recent dev notes, he says, "Lastly, we're taking bets on how long before the community discovers the resources Easter egg we snuck in for you. I'm betting 2 months post-launch. One hint, it's a pretty large Easter egg." Now, this is a very ambiguous statement, if you ask me, and I genuinely do wonder what this is going to be. Obviously, Kerbal Space Program has had Easter eggs in the past and still has Easter eggs in it. If you think about the arches on the moon, you think about the different monoliths throughout the solar system and on Kerbin. Just little stuff like that, but this apparently seems to be a rather large Easter egg for people to try and find. And so I'm trying to make the most of the hints here. This is pure speculation. This could be completely wrong, and that's why I want us guys to be the first people to find out who this is. I want us as a KSP News community to see if we can crack this Easter egg before the 2 months window. Personally, I think it could just be a very large Easter egg or something like that. Literally just like a chocolate Easter egg hidden within an asteroid or something. Maybe it has a 1 in 10,000 chance or something of spawning, and an asteroid spawning as that, and maybe, I don't know, it gives you more fuel. I don't know. This is pure speculation, and it could have absolutely no meaning whatsoever. But leave in the comments down below, guys. What do you reckon the Easter egg could be? It is obviously to do with the resources system, and so I literally have no idea what it is at the moment. I am completely stumped. But I'm sure as 1.0 is released, people start digging through the code and stuff like that. People will find out for us, and we will be able to solve this mystery. So let's do this, guys, as a community. I want to be able to solve this with you guys. We should do Kerbal Space Program's community a favor by solving this Easter egg. So yeah, leave in the comments down below what you think your early speculation is. As long as it's to do with resources system, I don't think any suggestions are too crazy, to be fair. But yeah, on to the last story for today. So yeah, while we're on the subject of Porkjet and Rover Dude, they have released some new screenshots within their new dev notes, and they reveal some details that haven't actually been specified by some of the YouTube previews in 1.4 1.0. Here we can see the first one. These two are of the Mark III spaceplane parts by Porkjet. You can see the new tail. Obviously this has already been shown off a ton of times on YouTube by the media group. And the new wings. You can see that they're a lot thicker. You can see the tail is a lot taller. I think that the tail could be used for a light aircraft's wings as well, sort of a fixed wing type deal. Similar to what you can do with the tail planes with the B9 aerospace pack. I think it looks very nice indeed. Obviously as well, you can see the portrait pictures of the Kerbals in the new Mark III cockpit. Now this is actually modelled, and you can see a new female Kerbal called Trilby Kerman? Yes, we have a female Kerbal named after a hat. Confirmed to 1.0, everybody. So here we can also see a brand new screenshot, this with Bill, Bob and Jeb in. They haven't got their orange suits on, but I think that's just because of the camera angle in the bottom left here. You can see that it is a large passenger aircraft with very large wings. These are huge wings, and you can see that the engine nacelles have actually been redesigned so that they can be fixed under wings and used as jet engines. Makes the whole concept of a jet aircraft a lot more plausible, I think, and it looks very nice, I think, very iconic. One thing to note as well is that the Mark II inline cockpit has actually been remodeled, and the Mark I inline cockpit, I think, the Mark I nose cockpit, I think, may have been remodeled, but don't quote me on that. Mark I inline definitely has, and I honestly think it may look a little bit worse than what it did previously. It looks kind of cheap to me. It might just be because I haven't actually seen it in its full detail yet, but well, that remains to be seen. Again, I'll have to get my hands on the update in order to actually know this. But I think overall, Porkjet has done a very good job with the plane parts. Now, however, we're moving on to heat shields. Now this, you've probably seen the heat shields already on a KSP media group video. Obviously they protect what's behind them during re-entry from the rigors of re-entry, but what you may not know is that they actually change texture while they are undergoing rigorous re-entry. Obviously, if you've got an ablative material on a heat shield, you're subjecting it to high temperatures, obviously that material is actually going to ablate away. That's why the heat shields in Kerbal Space Program have an ablator resource, and once that goes, the heat shield breaks and everything underneath it just like blows off and burns up and everything's horrible. But these heat shields actually change texture, just like the real life versions of the heat shields. You can see in the screenshot here, you can see in the bottom left hand corner, you can see a brand new heat shield. This is what it's going to look like when you place it in the VAB. It's going to be pristine, sort of a creamy leather sort of colour. And then once you subject it to the stresses of re-entry, it's going to go to the bottom right hand corner, which is sort of like a mid to low scorched heat shield, and then at the top you can see the most damaged heat shield, which is a very ablated heat shield. Obviously that has gone through some very high stress re-entry. Now I love this. I think it looks absolutely amazing. The fact that the textures actually change while the game is actually in engine, it looks bloody amazing, I'm not gonna lie. And it's going to look pretty good when you send like Galileo-esque probes crashing into Joule, and it's high atmosphere at extremely high speeds, and you're going to be able to watch that ablator go away, and watch the heat shields get darker, and it's going to look all cool and awesome. So yeah, that's pretty much all the KSP news that I can bring to you this week. But before that though, we have some channel news. See, I told you this video would be feature length. Yeah, channel news. There's a few things that I want to tell you guys just before I leave. First of all, if you've made it this far in the video listening to me ramble on about stuff you've probably already seen before, then you're amazing. It's why I love you guys so much. And clearly you guys love the content as well. Within a week, we've gone from 500 subscribers to 601 as of recording this video. That's insane! I haven't even filmed my 500 subscriber special yet, and we've already passed 600. That's, like I say, that's insane. I can't believe the support that you guys are giving these videos. I do YouTube as a hobby. I think I stress this quite a lot. I never intending to do it as a full career or something. But thanks to you guys, I just can't believe you guys actually enjoy the content that I make. And I'm just so thankful for you guys for subscribing, for watching these videos, for commenting, and I have a positive feeling that Squad have seen the feedback that you guys have given in the comments on these videos and put it into practice. The UI with the resources system is a prime example of this. I think that we, along with some of the people on the forums, were the prime complainists, shall we say, with the UI system, saying that some people liked it, some people didn't, and so as a result they have actually changed it, and that's community feedback, and that's why this game is amazing, and that's why you guys are amazing. That's pretty much the good channel news over now. Unfortunately, this is now the bad news, and that is this is the last KSP news show I'm going to be doing for around a month and a half. Yeah, I'm sorry for that, guys. Unfortunately, I will be going on channel lockdown as of May the 8th. In case you are not aware, my first exam for my GCSE is on May 12th. So I'm going to lock down the channel and not be uploading at all between, should I say, try not to lose my words, between May 8th and June 13th. I shall be back on June 13th with a brand new video. I may pop up once during the half-term holiday. I do get a break without any exams, but I will be mostly using that for revising. That's going to be a very stressful week indeed, but if I am able to pop out a video before then, I most definitely will for you guys, because I want to let you know how I'm getting on. I don't want you guys to all think, no, he's gone away, where's he going, if you know what I mean. I want you guys to stay with me. I am not stopping making KSP news, shall I say. I'm just merely taking a break. I think that the release of 1.0 is a sufficient time to take a break, shall we say. And just let it slide for a month and a half while the exams go on, and then I'll be returning with a bang on the other side, shall we say. I was struggling to find the words then, it's quite emotional. But yeah, without this show, probably half of you guys wouldn't even be here, and my channel wouldn't even be half its size, and I've really found my niche with this, I can't really find this show, and it's what's made my channel famous, shall we say, within the KSP community. But once again, that's all down to you guys, and I can't thank you guys enough. Just so you know as well, as of tomorrow for 1.0 releasing, I have a very special video that's going to be releasing. It is a trailer video. I'm very proud of it. I was up till, I think, 2 AM last night making it. It's very good, I think, not to blow my own trumpet or anything, which I probably am. Stop being arrogant, Bradders, Jesus Christ. But I hope you guys will enjoy that. I've got to make it public, I'm going to make it public around 4 o'clock. So yeah, please do tune in for that if you're interested. But yeah, guys, pardon me, I'm losing the will to speak here. Yeah, that's pretty much going to round it off for this week's KSP News episode. This has by far and away been the longest episode I have ever made of anything ever. So yeah, I really hope that you guys enjoy it. But yeah, guys, as of tomorrow, Kerbal Space Program goes into a brand new phase, and as will Kerbal Space Program News once we return. We'll still have the same format, but we may be changing our... we won't be changing our look, but we may be changing our scheduling slightly depending on how the development cycle is going. Obviously, that's all to be decided in the future though. And here's to the future, guys, because I really do think it's a bright one ahead. So yeah, that's pretty much going to round it off for this show, guys. Thanks so much for watching. I cannot thank you guys enough for all the support you've been giving me. This won't be the last video I upload on my channel before the exams, but it'll be the last KSP News show. And once again, I just want to extend my thanks to all of you. I know I've said it about 1,000,000 times already, and you're probably like, shut up! But I am seriously so grateful for you guys. And so yeah, that's pretty much going to round it off. Remember to like and subscribe for more, and I'll see you on the other side, guys. This is Jinli Kerman signing off, and as always, for the last time in Kerbal Space Program Early Access, stay classy!